You are tuned in to a Fireside chat with Zany Mystic. Join us now on another exciting metaphysical journey. Relax, tune in, drop out, and take a seat by the fire as we explore new realms and possibilities. This is Magenta Pixie. You can find me at magentapixie.weebly.com. But now, here is Zany Mystic and guest. Enjoy the show.
Greetings and welcome to a Fireside Chat with Zany Mystic. I'm your host, Lance White. Tonight, my guest is Mona Delfino. Mona is a medical intuitive, vibrational healer, and massage therapist. In addition to her teachings in Reiki, polarity therapy, sound, toning, and crystal healing, structural therapy, and many indigenous vibrational medicines, Mona has had the unique experience of studying with her mentor of 12 years, Cherokee medicine woman Karen Land. Karen was known as Double Eagle in the Cherokee tribe. At a more personal level, Mona is a close friend of a mutual friend, Mahala Gale, who writes the monthly Planet Alerts, where I first read her incredible writings. In my private conversations with Mona, she gave me an experience of a personal reading on the phone, and I heartily endorse and recommend her abilities and her work. So let's discover more about this wonderful soul here on the planet by welcoming her to the show now. Hi, Mona. How are you?
Hi, Lance.
We made it. We're on the show now,
Yay!
finally.
Hi, everybody. Hi.
It's the day after the Mayan calendar, and we're in a new paradigm, right?
We are totally in a new paradigm, and we made it through, didn't we, huh?
Yes, we did.
After our conversation yesterday, and we had about 4 hours. Lance and I had about 4 hours at different times of the day to talk yesterday, and it has just been one wonderful reunion.
Yes, it has. It is.
It's good to be on your show, honey. I say hi to everybody out there, and also to a lot of our Facebook friends. There have been a lot of support on Facebook, and I just want to acknowledge those people today that have been so encouraging and loving. So.
Oh, wonderful. Good. Yes, by all means. Now, we could start anywhere that we like, but in our conversations, I'd kind of like to just mention somebody's name because he was a very special person in my life.
Yes.
And he did several shows over the last 6 years with me, and I feel like I'm still connected to him, and I know that he's connected to you, and that is Dr. John J. Harper, who wrote the book Transformer. What is the name of that book?
It's called Transformers, and then Shaman in the 21st century.
And it's a marvelous book, and John was I just always felt an intimate connection with him, and I discovered in looking at your work and writings that you also shared a special bond with John. So I just wanted to throw that out there, and you can take it wherever you like, or we can, move on to other subjects.
Well, I think that's a wonderful way of starting. Thank you. Actually, John and I were business partners in the last 6 months of his life. Did a lot of healing with John, for John. Found him on Facebook, actually. We had a dynamic reunion. It was just like this energetic compulsion that we both had to meet each other, and he was so kind, and I knew that this man was somebody that I must have known because his heart and his soul were so very pure, and I just immediately fell in love with his energy and his beautiful family and everybody who was so welcoming in my world at that time. And John passed in December 15th of 2010, and we had a shared death experience. John actually crossed over. He knew a lot of people, and he talked to a lot of people about the near-death experiences. He was well aware of it, and if anybody wants to go back and look at the coast-to-coast, the sound that he told everybody about, the way that he believed in with, near-death experiences, and he was so well-versed. He knew so many people, and he knew how to quote them, and a lot of those people supported John, and so when he passed, it was a shock, but it wasn't. It was one of those things where you knew that there was some divine order that was involved with his passing, and even to this day, I feel very, very, very close to him, in some ways even more than we did before, because we could have only gone so far in this world, with being on the physical planet and going from place to place.
Oh, yeah.
At this point in time, a shared death experience is when I almost left at the very same moment that John was dying. I also had an experience, a lot to go into, but
right.
Basically my heart was also leaving the planet. And if I hadn't gotten my dog the way Spirit asked me to get a dog on the 14th of December, I would never actually have been here to even talk to you. So I had my dog the very day that John was dying, and actually put my left hand on her heart because my heart was leaving this planet. I was feeling very sad and very abandoned, and I was leaving. I just felt my heart dying, and when I put my left hand on my dog's heart, it literally lifted me back up, and that's the reason I stayed, was because I had a dog that I had just gotten that day. And so it's a very interesting experience, but Raymond Moody talks a lot about shared death experiences. Well, this was one of them. And he's still strong. John is very strong still in my world today. So I want to acknowledge him. Thank you so much for mentioning his name.
Oh, and thank you. And also, I want to say thanks to John for guiding me from the other side in many matters. There's so many people that are helping us that we, may not be aware of, but if it crosses your perceptual screen, then you can know that those people are there for you. It's not just something that our mind is making up.
That's right.
And you are this is where I really want to tap into your wisdom and knowledge, because you tap into the empathic, psychic, and other realms, and are basically a master of those things.
Yes, Lance, I've been doing this for a long time, and
many lives, right?
I've been doing this in this lifetime at least for 25 to 30 years, and I have been working on people individually for a very, very long time. I was doing nursing before this. I was in the nursing field for 6 years, hospitals, general practices, nursing homes. That's for 6 years before I actually got involved in this particular dynamic, and it has been one of the most gratifying experiences and humbling, jobs to be able to be with people who are going through so very much, and they have been for years. But, we have had so many years, Lance, of learning, and in the last 25 years since I've been really working, I've noticed many, many shifts that our world has been going through. And as we know, the 80s were such an amazing time when we started to receive a lot of these movies, and even Close Encounters of the Third Kind. We started receiving movies that were coming in that were teaching us about other dimensions, and so we were preparing ourselves for where we are today. And it's a beautiful thing to go back and look at that and say, look at where we've come. Look how far we've come. We can talk about all the chaos, but when you really look at it, we've come a long way, we need to pat ourselves on the back. Thank you very much. This has been a very dynamic time.
Yes.
So I'm very proud of humanity, even though I know that this is a big job, and this is the first time in humanity's history that we've been talked to about, with Greg Braden and all these beautiful teachers out there today that are discussing this. Greg just has a book out now called Deep Truths, and so he's coming out with a lot of the logic and the background of the ancients that, have told us the truth about the times that we're in, and we are just now beginning to wake up to it. So much of our world, we've been so closed off for so many years, and now I would say within the last 10 years, we can all, talk about the different timings and stuff, but within that last 10 years, we've really started to open up, and we can't deny the fact that we are in such a major shift today that's occurring, and so this is what I think we really are going to talk about today, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it seems that that's kind of a pressing issue at the moment, and especially given that, today is the first day of the rest day of our lives, but other than that, because we're eternal and infinite beings, it is the first day after 10/28/11, which is a significant date, according to many people, one of my guests, Carl Kalaman, and so on and so forth. It is the unofficial or official end of the Mayan calendar. So, and I have been tracking these energies, and to me, that resonates. That doesn't mean that there aren't significant dates coming up, like 11/11/11.
Right.
My friend Dr. Carmen Bolter is going over to Egypt to do a meditation in the Great Pyramid on that date.
Right.
And people are doing these things all over the world on that date. Mm-hmm. And then there are numerous dates that will pop up before the magic date of December 21st, 2012.
Exactly.
And then we have one after that, George Kavaslis talks about March 21st, 2013. So, you pick your date.
Right, pick a date, any date.
You pick your own date, and you pick, door number 1, 2, or 3. Let's see,
right.
Bachelorette number. No, seriously. So,
well, we have astrology to thank here on a lot of the levels because we are being so encouraged with the universe to shift our thinking and to shift the way that we've lived. We have lived in a third-dimensional life where we have believed so much in the last 20 years that we've had governmental, democracies. We've had all kinds of things that have actually told us how to live.
Right.
And now the people are speaking up. And, if anything, the Occupy movement now is saying, look, we're the people and we're not going to buy it anymore. So no matter if people think that it's doing something or not, that's not the point. The
right.
point is it's saying that the people are actually standing up for themselves and saying, we're not going to buy it anymore. Our Constitution said, by the people, for the people. Well, guess what? We're doing it.
Yes, we are. We are truly taking our power back.
Yes.
And this wonderful network of light that spans the globe and probably the galactic universe is really lifting the whole vibration up of the planet, and
yes.
so many people are holding that higher vibration. Mm-hmm. You could point to dozens or hundreds or thousands of people across the globe, but really, it is all of us as a collective
right.
in unity consciousness.
Right, absolutely. Unity consciousness is the key. That's giving us more awareness because it's about where two or more are gathered. We want to make sure that we use that phrase a lot in our world today because
yes.
that phrase is significant in my work. I'm actually, I read every kind of energy you can imagine. I read energy in the body. I read energy from a name. I read energy. And what that means is I get descriptive images and knowledge from that name. So it's almost like you don't even have to tell me anything. When I read your energy, I'm capable of looking into you, into your soul, and finding out why you did what you did and when you did it. All of the information is sitting right in front of me when I hear your name. And this is why a lot of times I'll do vibrational name reads for people. But even more so, it's like when I get people on the table, I can read muscle memory, and I can read the date and the year a lot of times that
wow.
they made a decision at 6 years old of having to live their life a certain way because they needed the protection or to feel comfortable in their world about being here on the planet. And so many people made these decisions back then, and a lot of times it made a protection mechanism that doesn't work today. It doesn't work today because today's a day that we are new and that we don't have to have protection,
Right.
But that was the past, and the past actually dictated where we were today, and we bought into it because we needed to at the time. But my suggestion is if you are at least a little bit aware of your past, recognize that you don't have to hold on to it. It was the past. That's why they call it the past. We don't have to hold on to any of that to move us into the future from our present moment. And it is in our present moment that we're actually, moving into a direction. And we are making our choices today, which are absolutely significant into where we're heading. And each and every person on this planet is significant. Every single person is identified as a cosmos. We are a cosmos within ourself. We are the ancients. We are everything that we have become from not just in this life, but what we've been in our DNA. Our DNA has brought us to the time we're in now. And we all know scientifically now, science is proving that, DNA survives death.
Oh, yes.
Energetically, there's one big life.
Right. One big life being lived, and we're still kind of living in the illusion that we're each, fragments of that one.
Right. Or, the thing that really stops us from moving forward, Lance, lack of self-esteem.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I'm sure you see this with many of your clients. I see it all over the place, myself included. I see where I sabotage myself, and I can give and give and give, but I still haven't held myself as being worth what others are worth, and so it's easy to give to others, but when it comes to receiving, I don't,